Section 1.2, quadratic equations. In this section, the learning objective is to solve a quadratic equation by completing the square. So let's think about the fact we are given a specific quadratic equation and we would like to solve it. Completing the square is one of the methods that we could use for that. Okay, so a quadratic equation, definition. A quadratic equation is an equation equivalent to one of the form. So this is when you have a quadratic equation in standard form. Let me get my big, right here, in standard form, where a cannot equal to 0, because if a equals 0, then it will not be to the second power and it will not qualify as a quadratic equation. Where a and b and c are real numbers. So here below you have 3 examples of quadratic equations. Right here, if you notice, the c term is missing, but still it is a quadratic equation. The highest exponent is 2. Here is not in standard form, but the highest exponent is 2. If I were to be solving, I wanted to set it equal to 0, so I would have minus the 5x and the 3. So we will have 2x squared minus 5x minus 3 equals 0. And here this one is in standard form, so it's already ready for us if we were going to be solving. In this case, we're going to be solving some using completing the square. So solve a quadratic equation by completing the square. Here are the steps that you must follow. So step 1 says, always begin by writing the equation with a constant on the right side if there is one. So let's say if we had 2x squared plus 4x minus 6 equals 0. So the first step says always begin by writing the equation with a constant on the right side. So that meant that I needed to add this 6, right? That meant I needed to add this 6, okay? Step 2, take, but wait. Important right here. Make sure the coefficient of x squared is 1. So if you notice here, the coefficient of the x squared is now 1. So we're going to need to divide everything by that 2 so we can make that coefficient to be 1. Then step 2 says take half of the coefficient of x squared, then square it. So this is the process that you would do. And we're going to do all of the steps with an example, okay? Step 3 says add the result of step 2 to both sides of your equation. Step 4, rewrite the left side as a perfect square trinomial. Step 5, simplify the right side if needed. And step 6, we will solve for x. Now, I would like for you to, if you want, go ahead and pause the video and write down the steps so you have them as we are working out the examples, okay? So in this example, we are going to solve it using the completing the square, okay? So step 1 says to, maybe I need to put this a little bit thicker. Maybe we should change color. This purple would do better. Step 1 says to move the coefficient to the right side. So we are doing that. So I have x squared plus 5x equals -4. Within step 1, it says make sure that the leading coefficient, so the coefficient of x squared, is 1. In this case, it is. Okay. The next step says take the middle term, so the constant, then coefficient of the x, divided by 2, and square it. Well, if I do 5 divided by 2, that's going to give me a decimal. So I'm going to leave it as a fraction, and I'm just going to go ahead and square it. So that's going to give me 25 over 4, because 5 times 5 is 25, and 2 times 2 is 4. Now, it says to add the result. So step 3 says add the result that you got in step 2 to both the left and the right side. Okay, so I am going to scroll down a little bit. So I have on the left x squared plus 5x And then I know I have -4. I'm going to use a different color so we know. So I am, oh, need to change the size of this. Let's use orange. Okay, so this is going to be plus 25 over 4 plus 25 over 4. Then the next step says the left side becomes a perfect square trinomial. So we can go ahead and factor that. Because this is a perfect square trinomial, we know that the square root of x squared is going to be x. We always take the first sign, and then the square root of 25 over 4 will be 5 over 2. This equals. Now, on the left side, you have some basic math that we need to do. So we have -4 over 1 plus 25 over 4. We're going to multiply both sides by 4 on this here. Top and bottom by 4. So this becomes -16 plus 25 over 4 over 4. This gives me 9 over 4. So I go ahead and write 9 over 4 right here. Go ahead and lower that a little bit more. Okay. So now we are at the step where we need to solve for x. So if I want to get the x out from this inside the square, I am going to do the square root of both sides. The opposite of the square is the square root. So that brings this out. Every time we do the square root to both sides, let's remember we need to do plus or minus. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 4 is 2. Okay? So then we're going to continue our process to solve for x. So I am going to minus both sides by 5 over 2. This is going to cancel here. So now we have, I'm going to write it right here on this side. Okay? So now we have x equals -5 over 2 plus or minus 3 over 2. If we rewrite this into both of them, the positive and the negative, so we have -5 over 2 plus 3 over 2. This gives me -2 over 2, which is -1. And then if we go to the next one, we have -5 over 2 minus 3 over 2, which gives me -8 over 2, which gives me -4. So those two are my answer. This, oops. This two. Okay, let's see another example. Right here. Okay, so I get up. Went too far. Too far. Oh my goodness. Another. Come on. Oh, here you go. Perfecto. Okay, so again, step 1, we are going to, let's change colors because why not? We need to add the C term to the right side. Let's see if I can be more organized. I'm going to rewrite it. Fine. Then the next step says, not the next step, my apologies. Within step 1, we need to make sure that the coefficient of the x squared is 1. In this case, it's not, so we're going to divide everything by that number. So this becomes x squared minus 4x equals 5 over 2. Then we're going to take the -4 divided by 2 and square it. This is going to be -2 divided by 2, -4 divided by 2 is -2, -2 squared gives you positive 4. I'm going to rewrite this as s squared minus 4x plus 4. Remember, the next step is to add that to both sides. Oops, I was going to write this wrong. My apologies. Oops. Plus 4. Oof. Okay, let's go ahead and bring this down. Not too much because I don't make it disappear. So it says the next step is that the left side becomes a perfect square trinomial. So when you factor this, you're going to end up with two binomials that say x minus 2. And that's why we have x squared. Well, that's why we have the square. I'm going to do this work on the side. So I have 5 over 2 plus 4 over 1. Multiply top and bottom by 2, so they have the same denominator. So I have 5 over 2 plus 8 over 2. That gives me 13 over 2. So put that right there, 13 over 2. Now I am solving for x, so I am going to square root both sides. Square root both sides, because the opposite of a square is a square root. So then I'm going to bring this down. So I have x minus 2 equals plus or minus the square root of 13 over 2. Okay. Again, we are solving for x, so I need to make sure I add this positive 2 to both sides. I mean, this 2 to both sides. So I have x equals 2 plus or minus square root of 13 over 2. If you rewrite this as both answers, you have x equals 2 plus square root of 3 over 2. And x equals 2 minus square root of, 13. 13, over 2. And all of it is inside the square root. You know what? Let me write that better because I do not want you guys to get confused. Let me go ahead and write that better. Okay. Square root of 13, everything inside, over 2. Square root of 13 over 2. Now, it depends if this was an application, traditionally they will want you to round your work to actually get the decimal for this. But for this problem, it is okay to leave your answer with radicals. Okay, so it's always very important that we pay attention to the directions of how they want us to input our answer. Okay, we have one more example right here. So again, in step 1, we are going to move the C term. Let's keep changing the colors. Okay, we are going to move the C term to the right side. Okay, this cancels. So I have 3x squared plus x equals 1/2. Then the next step, not the next step, within step 1, we need to make sure we divide everything by 3 because we need that coefficient of the x squared to be 1. Okay, so I have x squared plus 1 over 3x equals this work right here. I'm going to go ahead and do it to the side so we can see. So what I have is 1/2 divided by 3 over 1. Well, we know that we cannot divide fractions, so we're going to do keep, change, and flip. So this is 1/6. Okay. And then the next step, let's go ahead and scroll. Oh, I can just scroll like this. Can I just, oh no. Okay, here. Yes. Scrolled. Perfect. Okay, let me go back to the drawing. So the next step says we are going to take the coefficient of the x divided by 2 and square it. So again, what's happening in this process is I have 1/3 divided by 2 over 1. So I am going to keep, change, and flip. So this becomes 1/6. And then this is 1/6 squared, which is 1 times 1, 1, and 6 times 6, 36. So I have 1 over 36. Okay? So once I do 1/3 divided by 2 and square, my answer is 1 over 36. And this 1 over 36, it's what I'm going to add to the left and the right side of my problem. Okay, so I have x squared plus 1 over 3x, put this in different color, plus 1 over 36 equals 1 over 6 plus 1 over 36. Okay, so let me get more space. Okay. Okay, more space. There we go. Okay, back to what we were doing. So the left side, again, becomes a perfect square trinomial. Okay. Square root of x squared is just x. Always take this sign, so it will be plus. 1 over 36, square root of 1 over 36 is 1 over 6. Okay. On the, use a different color here. On the right side, we are going to find the least common denominator of those two. So between 6 and 36, I am using 36. So then this becomes 6 over 36 plus 1 over 36, which is 7 over 36. So I went ahead and add that over here, 7 over 36. Then I am solving for x, so I am going to square root both sides. That way I can get rid of the square. So the square root and the square cancel each other out. So I am left with x plus 1 over 6 equals plus or minus square root of 7 over 36. Again, I am solving for x, so I need to minus the 1 over 6 to both sides. That cancels, leaving my x by itself. So I have the two answers. Negative 1 over 6 plus square root of 7 over 36. And I have x equals negative 1 over 6 minus the square root of 7 over 36. So these were three examples of us completing the square following these steps right here. Okay? So make sure you follow the steps. Don't forget about that quick part with making sure that the a it has a coefficient of 1. Okay? And don't forget, anytime you're dividing fractions, just do keep, switch, and flip, and you will have no problem.